you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K is the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here on the Sick Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I am Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, good to see you, but it was great to see you in person a lot the past week. What a great trip we had to Montreal.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks to everybody at McLean's Public House. Thanks very much to everybody at Vago. Unbelievable. Tommaso and Angelo and the entire team at Vago. We can't thank you enough. And Jimmy, I liked it so much on Thursday at Vago that I went back Saturday.
There you go.
And I had a big party. I had a big group of people with me. And the reason why I did that was this family that I'm not going to give you their names, this family that I know, I trained their daughter from the time she was 5 until she was about 21 or 22. And she's playing women's in the PWHL.
Wow.
And so her team was playing in Montreal this week. And in fact, they're playing a game this afternoon as well. So I had them come to dinner on Saturday night at Vago's before they had to go to Verdun at the Scotty Bowman Arena.
There we go.
To watch their daughter play. So I thought that was a cool part of the story. Yeah, no, I had a great time spending time with you. Great hockey talk. It was such good hockey talk.
Really enjoyed it.
And the people at Vago, I'm just telling you, we're so proud to have them as sponsors, but it's amazing food.
Yeah, really
It's
is.
crazy
Really is.
good.
As you said too, the hospitality is equal to the food,
Yeah.
if not better. And it was great to meet them finally in person. And also a shout out to the Pizza Magpie, the Magpie Pizzeria there,
Well, that was
where we went with our good friend Mitch Melnick. Nope, I don't know if Pierre froze. I don't know if he lost.
no, I don't think so.
Here we go. Nope, I got you.
Yeah, okay, good. No, Magpie, the folks, everybody's great. But, and then it was an emotional weekend. I'm not going to lie to you. I was at St. Lawrence most of the weekend to watch and be part of Race Heroes Celebration of Life there. And it was good. I got to give a shout out to Tommy Fitzgerald. Tommy Fitzgerald was there. Billy Guerin was there. Danny McKinnon was there.
Oh.
Jason Bottrell was there. There were a lot, and I don't want to forget anybody, but I'm gonna. There were so many NHL management people and coaches there, or scouts that were there. Paul Castron from the New Jersey Devils was there. I mean, there were a lot of guys. Chris Kelleher was there.
Yep.
I can go down. There was just I'm just going over all the people that I saw. Donnie Bond, the former coach at Colgate, was there. It was pretty cool.
And how did Colin Color on the game go for you?
It was good. It's kind of like riding a bike and doing something else. You try never to forget.
Well, yeah, I know it was kind of a last minute thing there, and I said, Pierre, you'll be fine. You can. There's anyone that can wing it, and we're not encouraging people to ever wing it, and I'm not necessarily saying that's what you're doing. But if there's anyone that can pick it up in a pinch when they need a fill in, obviously it's you, Pierre. So I'm glad you had fun doing that because I know how much you love doing that, and you did a lot of it last year. So it's great stuff.
Hey, by the way, before you get going, I just want to say, Reed Cashman and the Dartmouth Big Green, Jimmy. They're for real. They are, and I told a bunch of college guys over the last 2 days and a bunch of pro teams over the last couple of days. They're a legitimate top 10 team in the NCAA. They are really good. They're really good. Reed Cashman's done a phenomenal job with Dartmouth hockey. Really good.
Good stuff. Yeah, they beat them 6-1, huh? Ooh. St. Lawrence is having a tough year, I see, though.
Yeah, they had a good game on Saturday night against Harvard, but they lost by a goal. They're the youngest team in college hockey.
Okay, so
So they're working their way through it. I had a great visit with the coaching staff there on Friday morning. Really good visit with those guys. But they know they got work to do. But I'm going to tell you, this is for everybody. And I know we got a lot of New Hampshire people that watch and listen. Dartmouth college hockey right now is as good as I've ever seen it since the early 1980s. And believe me, in the early 1980s, they were really good. They would go to the NCAA Frozen Four. They were really good. They had a lot of guys that played pro. Kerry Wilson was probably the best player they had. He's a doctor, but he was an amazing player. He played in the NHL for a long time. But I'm just telling you, this Reed Cashman, this is the most pro-style team I've seen in an ECAC besides Cornell.
I remember we had him on campus last year, Pierre. He was great.
Well, I had him on the ECAC show the other day. He was phenomenal, but I'm just telling you, like, I don't want to overhype it and get him, all of a sudden they get the Sports Illustrated jinx. I'm just telling you, to watch their team play, if you're a coach or somebody to appreciate it, their breakouts are phenomenal. Their attack through the neutral zone is great. When guys make a mistake, they get brought to the bench. They don't get yelled and screamed at. They just get things explained to them.
Yep.
Then they go right back on the ice.
Yep.
Like, he's done. He's doing an amazing job there. I don't know if they'll be able to keep him there or not. He might end up going back to pro hockey. I have no idea, but I'm just telling you, they're a good team. Really good.
Well, we will get into more college hockey later on as the week goes on, especially with our on campus. And Pierre, we are now less than a week outside of heading over across the pond to one of our new favorite places. And of course, that is Dublin and Belfast for the Friendship Four. Really looking forward to getting over there and doing the shows. We'll be at the Harry Lemon a week from today. We will be there. I think we would have already done the show by this time at that time, because there will be time differences. We will start to post the times. I'll actually start doing that tomorrow, and I'll do it every day to remind people. And then, of course, we'll be heading up to Belfast. We'll be at the Harp in Belfast on Tuesday. We will be at McConnell's Distillery. Really looking forward to that. Interesting. I'm hearing they might put us in a jail cell, Pierre.
That's where I belong.
No, I feel familiar like that, but you don't. But
no, that's where I belong. By the way, you were supposed to get a bunch of info from somebody from Europe today. Did you get anything?
I did not get anything. The only things I've gotten in the past few days have been the invites to the different events we'll be doing there.
Okay.
Is that what you're referring to?
No.
Okay. We'll talk about it after here.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. Okay. Later.
So Wednesday we'll be at McConnell's, back to the Harp on Thursday, and then we'll be at the arena for the Friendship Four, broadcasting live at the Off Ice Bar in between the two games on Friday. Really excited about that. And actually, before we got on, Pierre, you and I were already talking. We're finalizing our plans for the women's tournament as well. So lots of Ireland in our future, and lots of great college hockey, both men's and women's. Looking forward to. And you made a good point, Pierre. I think last year there were much, and this is no knock on the schools that are in it this year, but much more bigger name schools, maybe a little more popularity, so to speak. But the teams coming in this year right now are playing some really good hockey as we speak. And that's
RIT's playing really good hockey. Sacred Heart is really starting to pick up the pace of their game. Miami, we had Coach Noreen on last week, I believe. Jimmy, was it last week we had Coach Noreen?
Yep.
2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
I know they had a tough weekend this past weekend, but you know what? They were playing really good hockey going into the last weekend. Their schedule gets a lot tougher now, but that's okay.
Yep. And Union with
two Hockey East wins this weekend. Yep. Union. So I'm really excited for those teams. I think the competitive balance of the tournament's going to be amazing. Really do.
I'm really excited about that. But Pierre, let's get into some NHL talk here. And as you have always warned us, it doesn't really get real until about the 20-game mark. And part of getting real is when injuries start to happen and the wear and tear of the season, especially a season like this, Pierre, where the games are more condensed because of the Olympics. The schedule is so erratic and all over the place. But I don't know if in my recent memory, and let's say since COVID, all right, I don't remember one specific weekend like this where it was just really a war of attrition and we saw so many big names go down in a span of 48 hours. I mean, there are some pretty big players that have gone down that are going to have to force their teams to alter their lineups, whether that's with call-ups or picking up somebody on waivers or a trade. A lot of teams that are in playoff contention. I'll start with the two teams that both you and I were focused on Saturday night, the Boston Bruins and Montreal Canadiens. The Bruins take a 3-2 win over the Canadiens at the Bell Center, but was with a hefty cost as their number one defenseman, Charlie McAvoy, and I hope he's doing okay. I know for everyone's going to ask right now, I've not confirmed anything, much like I'm sure a lot of people thought. It looked to me like a job, but that's just me speculating. That's no facts here. There was the only update that was given by Marco Sturm today was that he was seeing more doctors. He did not rule out surgery, and he basically hinted that it could be a long time before he's back on the ice for the Boston Bruins. And my concern, not just for the Bruins, Pierre, is also his Team USA status too. I hope he's able, whatever it is, he's able to recover in time.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Charlie obviously is a really important player for Boston and Team USA. I look at Montreal on the other side, Kirby Dach, Alex Newhook, Patrick Laine. Nobody, 3 weeks ago in Montreal, nobody thought Caden Gooley was going to need surgery. Caden Gooley's he already had surgery down in New York. So that's a bit of an issue because, and again, no knock on Arber Xhekaj, no knock on Jaden Struble, but neither one of those guys is Caden Gooley. They're not even close. They're not even close.
No.
So Montreal's got issues, but nothing speaks to issues more than Toronto that have lost 5 straight games. No Brandon Carlo, no Austin Matthews, no Scott Lawton, no Chris Tanev, no Marshall Rafai, no Anthony Stolars. I don't care how good your organization is, you are not winning unless those guys are back.
Yeah. It's something, Pierre. I mean, and you look at that team right now too, they were already having issues without the injuries, and now those are piling up there. Pierre, another one I want to mention too, just the LA Kings, who have been on a roll. They lose Drew Doughty, and obviously we know how much he means to that team.
Blocked the shot, broke his foot. That's what that happened.
Yeah. So it's tough right now out there. And this, you predicted it though. Like, this is why we try to stress, don't get too carried away. And I know it sounds like cliches and all that when teams are on win streaks, or if they're going the other way in a losing streak, things can change in a hurry, especially as you start to get into the meat of the season. And we're seeing that right now. One quick thing I want to say, Pierre, excuse me, is John Beecher waived by the Boston Bruins today. There's a couple teams out there that are looking for centers or looking for bodies up front. Do you think he clears waivers? Or do you think he gets picked up?
I think Vancouver might take him.
Yeah. I know some people were speculating the Habs, but I feel like the Habs might want
to. Here's the problem. Yeah, here's the problem with that. I think Kapanen is good where he is. Jake Evans is good where he is. Obviously, Suzuki's really good where he is. I don't know what kind of organizational message you're sending some of the guys in the American League that are playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm with you 100%.
I just wonder what that. I would ask that question internally to the scouts and to the coaches. What does that present to us long term in terms of loyalty, the perception of loyalty, or lack thereof? You know, but there are other teams. But there are other teams, Jimmy, that I think where Johnny Beecher could get picked up. But I don't know. It's early. It's early on a waiver guy like that. Now, Toronto takes Troy Stetcher the other day.
I thought there was a sneaky good little
sneaky good move, 100%.
By the way, there's a connection there to Trey Living too from back in Calgary, right?
Yeah, that's a little bit. But so I know Troy from his 3 years in Penticton playing for Freddie Harbinson, 3 years at North Dakota playing for Brad Berry. Like, you start looking at his career. I think I did one of his first playoff games when he was in Vancouver. I played for Travis Green in Vancouver. Then, he gets moved around a little bit, but he's been around the final with Edmonton a lot the last little while. Even though he wasn't playing, he was around it. And he's become a bit of a suitcase, and that's not a knock. Like, look he's got almost 600 games in the NHL.
Yep.
But this is a character kid. He's not overly large, but he can still skate. He's a very good first pass defenseman. And right now, on the right side for Toronto, there's no Tanev. And I can tell you that Philip Myers is struggling. He is. It's not a knock on the guy. He's struggling.
No.
They needed something. And without Marshall's a left shot, Rafai. He can play left or right side, but he broke his wrist in a preseason game, or not broke, he got cut in a preseason game in Montreal, and he's like –
Pierre, before, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you bring up Marshall Rafai. I can't believe I forgot to tell you this the other day. Well, I only found out yesterday. I was driving home. So the owner that I remember, I told you about the place they were staying at and how good they were to me. Luxury Apartments. Urge everybody to check them out. I posted the info on Twitter. So the owner of that company grew up with Marshall's dad.
Okay.
And he's grown up watching him play. He's seen him play as he grew up. So
That's
like
good.
small world. And I said, oh, Pierre, that's one of Pierre's ponies.
Yeah, he is. I trained him for a long time. I'm a big Marshall guy. But anyway, so they don't have him. Like, you start looking at all the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Toronto's crushed.
Right.
And Austin wasn't having,
they were struggling already.
Austin wasn't playing great.
Yeah.
So this is for people like Jimmy knows. I just get up really early and I can't sleep a lot, so I'm always watching stuff. Here's a disturbing trend if you're Toronto. Against Chicago in their loss, their 3-2 loss. Matthew Nyes, no shots.
Oh, yeah.
William Nylander, no shots. Mateus Michelli, no shots. If those 3 guys aren't getting shots on net, you're not going to be able to score more than 2 goals in a game. And they got 2 the other night, and they lost 3-2.
Yeah, that's not good at all, Pierre. I mean, those are guys too that they want, especially like a guy like Nyes. I mean, that's a guy they had huge hopes for coming in. He's got to be producing for them better than he is. Pierre, trying to think too. There was another injury I wanted to bring up. Where are my notes there? No, that's it. That's all I got.
What about the fight last night in New York?
That, again, we don't script it. That's where I was going to go, and that's going to be part of my tune-up as well later on.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm sure you 100% agree with me. I love what Jonathan Quick did there. Absolutely loved it, Pierre. We need more of that, and I think that's a good thing for a team like the Rangers, who I think clearly have been searching for an identity, have been up and down, can't figure out what they are, who they are. To see their oldest player go out with that pride and that passion and do that, I think that can help them going forward. It's up to the players how they respond to it and what they take from it, but I think that can help for sure.
So there were 2 things I thought of this morning when I watched the Grey Cup, Montreal, my team, they lost. I also watched the Rangers, with Detroit, because I knew it was in New York. It was an important game. And Detroit needed a bounce back because they were stink bombs in Buffalo the night before. They had a 3-goal lead and they ended up losing the game 5-4 in overtime. So I'm watching for that. Here's 2 things I want everybody to think about. The New York Rangers this year at Madison Square Garden are 1-7-1. On the road, they're 9-1-1. So there's completely disconnect problems with the Rangers at home compared to on the road. The LA Kings are 1-4-2 at home. On the road, they're 9-1-2. So the 2 teams that have really bad home records have amazing road records.
Mm-hmm.
Kings and the Rangers.
Yep.
So I'm watching that last night. What's interesting about it? Jonathan Quick, 2 Stanley Cups in LA, the only 2 cups. He's the goalie of record. Last night, he doesn't like what Mason Appleton does at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So Jonathan Quick says, no way. We got to stop this now. No more kicking sand in our face in New York. Because nobody did anything to Mason Appleton.
Nothing.
Nobody.
Yep.
I watched all the guys. Hey, and I'm not going to embarrass it. The announcer one of the announcers calling the game never even acknowledged it.
Pathetic.
Never even acknowledged it. And all of a sudden, the producer must have been in his ear saying, dude, you better look at the other end of the ice because there's mayhem there.
And the picture at the end is great, where they're just the mayhem in those 2 in the old school uniforms because they're both in their centennial year.
Right. It was fantastic.
It's just classic.
But the whole thing is that here's a guy, to Jimmy, my partner's point, the oldest player for the Rangers. And he's got a lot of miles on the tire.
Mm-hmm.
And he's out there saying, these are the standards you have to live by.
Exactly.
And he did it.
And he played a hell of a game too.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, they don't even sniff it.
They got steamrolled last night. That wasn't even close.
42-19 on the shots.
Yeah.
They got
steamrolled
percentage too. 60.4 to 39.6. The Red Wings beat him at the dot. I mean, come on.
They got steamrolled.
Yeah.
So you explain how the New York Rangers, who were supposed to be really good this year, are so far behind the Pittsburgh Penguins. Explain that to me.
I don't know. And by the way,
wait a second.
Yeah.
Their coach, the guy that was in Pittsburgh's in New York now. Now, I know he didn't work last night, and Jimmy and I both hope that everything's good for Mike.
Yeah,
we do. We hope everything's good for Mike. So, but what changed? And don't tell me it's just Ben Kindle.
Yeah.
You can't say that. Like, Ben Kindle's been great. He's one of the top 3 rookies in the league this year so far. He's been great. No rookie's been better than Schaefer. No rookie's been better. But one other thing on Schaefer, because you know how many games I watch. Can we stop the nonsense? Don't compare him to Cale Makar right now.
Yes.
Please just stop. Especially if you don't know like the track record of these players. Just please stop. Just stop.
Agreed.
Schaefer is a special player.
Mm-hmm.
He's a special player. So is Cale Makar.
Yep. Schaefer's not Cale Makar.
Here's what I know. Schaefer hasn't won a Norris Trophy yet. He hasn't played in a playoff game yet, and he hasn't won the Stanley Cup yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I know.
Mm-hmm.
I also know he never won a World Junior Gold Medal.
Yeah.
So let's just stop this.
Yeah.
We have to, for the well-being of the young man.
Yeah, this world of hot takes is just getting out of control. And like, I don't think people realize sometimes. I understand you think you're just praising a player, or maybe you're trying to get hot, but when you put labels or expectations on players like that, and it's too early, it's not fair, because then if they're not there yet in reality, then they start to. You don't get it when you tweet this stuff. They get it. They get booed. They get criticized by the media. So just pump the brakes sometimes. I think it's a great story what's going on with Schaefer. I did not expect him to be this good this fast. It's awesome. But he's not Cale Makar yet. He's not. That's it.
He's going to be really special. He already
is. But he's not there yet.
He already is. So I'm going to tell you exactly what I said all along. There's Brian Leach in there, and there's Scotty Niedermayer in there. I can't give you higher praise than that. Those guys are right in the wheelhouse of my coaching career. And I had to be part of drawing up game plans to stop them and run matchups to try to beat them down. And if I compare you to them, I have a working knowledge of it. I'm fearful that we have people that don't really have working knowledge of some of these things, putting way too much expectation on players.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, this is a really good player.
Yeah. Really
good player.
Yes, for sure. All right. I want to have one thing to do with the Rangers, but that will be on our tune-up section there, Pierre. Looking at some of the games tonight, and one of the games other than the Bruins Canes that I'll be following, I know you'll be watching the Canadians and Blue Jackets as well. Mm-hmm. Mammoth and Ducks, the late game, 10 p.m. there. These are two teams about a week ago, maybe 10 days ago. They were the darlings of the NHL. They've kind of come back down to earth a bit since. I'm really interested in this game. I don't know what, like when I woke up today and I'm kind of studying, looking ahead to tonight, I'm staying up for that one. I'm pretty interested in this, and I'm going to watch it as I do the Bruins Vibe podcast after the Bruins, because these are teams now that I think are part of what, like the new arrivals, so to speak, Pierre, if you can understand where I'm going with that.
I do.
And I'm interested to see how they, like I said, they were rising. Now they kind of leveled off. This is a big game, I think, for both teams to see if they can get back on the right track.
Fair.
Yep.
Fair. I'm still really bullish on Anaheim.
Oh, me too. I think
I'm not, and we'll keep the receipts from the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And I can tell you right now, so far I got Toronto wrong, and I think a big part of that is injury. But so far I've gotten them wrong. I don't think I got Anaheim wrong. You know what I mean. So we'll keep the receipts on all these. Joel Quenneville was the best free agent signing this past offseason. He was. Whether you're a player, coach, broadcaster, GM, he was the best free agent signing this past offseason. He was.
Yeah. All right. Final topic before we get to our sponsors and our Q&A and our wonderful viewers here. Pierre, you and I were talking a little before we came on here about what might happen with the NHL at the Olympics, because as Elliot Friedman reported, there's the NHL sent over another crew. Their operations staff is going over there to see what the latest is, see what they can do to help accelerate the process of getting this rink ready in Milan. And, Pierre, you spent so much time in Europe over the years. You played there, you coached there, you know what's going on around there. And you made an interesting point that could end up really being like a saving grace for the NHL should they have to find another location. Obviously, that's the last resort. But thankfully for them, European leagues across Europe shut down during the Olympics. that means there's going to be rinks available.
Correct.
And there are some rinks around the continent and within some pretty good proximity of Milan that they could play at. So Pierre, as you said, who's one of the guys that the NHL may need to reach out to?
Mr. Anschutz. Mr. Anschutz, who owns the Los Angeles Kings, also owns rinks in Europe. And he owns one, the Uber Arena in Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
That's about 14 to 18,000 seats, I think, Jimmy.
Yep.
And it's a flexible ice surface, so it can be international or it could be shrunk to North American size standards. And Berlin is a dominant hockey market. It's a fantastically successful brand for the Anschutz family. And for Peter Lee, who's been the longtime general manager there, former Ottawa 67 grade, drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, played in the NHL for the Pittsburgh Penguins and a little bit for Montreal. He runs a team in Berlin. But the other one, and I said this to Jimmy, look, in Bolzano, Italy, I was there for the World Championships in 1994. It's a beautiful rink. It's just below the Dolomite Mountains. The scenes are amazing. And Bolzano is a beautiful city. The rink's not as big. It's almost like 9,000 people, I think, Jimmy, it holds, if I remember correctly. It's about 2.5 depending how fast you drive, 2.5 to 3 hours north of Milan. But it's a good rink.
It's the closest one.
It's the closest one.
Yep.
You could go into Switzerland because you could take the fast train from Milan, and you could go into Zurich. You can go into Geneva. Mm-hmm. You could go to Davos. They're all big enough to host it. But here's the dirty little secret. There's a 20,000 seat rink where there are a lot of expats. Mm-hmm. And I think this would be the most amazing trial balloon ever. Go to the O2 Arena in London.
Boom.
Go to the O2. 20,000 seats. Worst case scenario, you play the gold medal game there. Worst case scenario. And if you want to do more, you play the Final Four there. Mm-hmm. Kind of like a bean pot.
Yep. Or a Friendship Four, the bell pot.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Good point by my partner. I'm proud of you for that. That's good. But I don't think there's the biggest thing, and I told Jimmy this, the key word in all of it is flexible floor.
Right.
You need to have a floor that can shrink or expand depending on whether you want to play international or North American. So that's one of the biggest keys with all this is when you're doing the research. And I told Jimmy, when you research this, Jimmy, make sure you remember the word flexible.
Yeah, and Pierre was right. And that's also a key thing, Pierre, as you pointed out, that it's flexible because right now these team GMs are constructing their rosters to play in an NHL dynamic rink. Like they need to be that style.
Yep.
So, you want to get it as close to that as you can. The only negative, as we agreed, would be how many travel packages are already been sold and how many people would have to get their money back from hotels and all that. And that's the biggest thing. But look, we're looking way down the road. As we said, these are all last resort things, but they're not screwed, so to speak. There are last resorts for the NHL.
Can I tell the story that I told you, or will I get in trouble for this story?
No, I think you can tell.
About the one where I went into another country and watched what we did.
I think some of that stuff was pretty well documented. You could go for it.
Can I say it though? I don't want to get us kicked off the air.
Well, no, and I don't want to call from Mr. Putin, but
so I've been a Russian a couple different places where I actually saw the rinks being finished. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing. One was in Ufa and the other one was in Omsk. Ufa is about a 3.5-hour plane ride to the east from Moscow, and Omsk is about 7.5 to 8 hours. It's like going past California from New York. It's far. And they basically had to put the army, and I hope they were prisoners, and if they weren't prisoners, I don't know what they were. People that were in trouble, they had them working to finish the rinks on time. And I wasn't the only person from North America there that saw that. And I was like, oh boy, you don't want to get in trouble in this country because that's hard work. That's way off the line. So I saw that. And I don't know if the Italians would do that. Or I have no idea. I don't know if they put the army in there. I have no idea what they do. I don't think they put prisoners in there. I don't think they would. I don't know.
No, I don't know how that would happen, but yeah. And you, Pierre, we won't talk about it. Pierre's told me some other interesting stories from his adventures, especially in some of those Eastern European countries. That one when you were stuck in the bar.
No.
Oh boy. Anyhow, all right, let's get to our sponsors here. Look, we're very excited to have a GT Radio and Point S on board here. That contest is done now. I hope you were able to get in there and get $1,000 worth of winter tires and win that contest. But you can still get great deals right now at Point S on GT Radial tires. Right there, you see them starting at $89. If you still haven't bought your winter tires, time is running out. And trust me, I found that out the hard way driving up to Quebec this past week. If you're in Quebec, you have until December 1st to get your tires installed. The good news is you can pick up GT Radial tires at Point S starting at $89 per tire. Visit point-s.ca to shop for GT Radial tires or find your nearest Point S location. Excuse me. Pierre, what happens if you don't have the tires by the 1st? You get tickets?
You get a ticket.
Really? Wow.
If they see you on the road and they see you don't have snow tires, you get a ticket.
Wow. Hey, good.
And the only way you can get away from it is if you come from out of the country. So let's say you come from the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you didn't know, they might let you walk.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. All right. And of course, we were talking about Vago before. What a great time we had over there. Really amazing. Like we said, the food, I saw people ask me what I thought of the food. It was delicious. Unreal. And they made a great gluten-free meal for me. So for anyone out there that has gluten allergy or any type of allergy, they are very accommodating to that. And they will cook you up a special and you will enjoy it. Trust me. And that, you know what? They're amazing because they've been able to survive the test of time through so many ups and downs for the restaurant industry. They combine old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion, open Monday to Saturday evenings, and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in Westmount. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that is 514-846-1414. Pierre, I enjoyed the little tour you gave me of what Westmount was like many years ago when you were growing up as a young lad.
Yep.
Really liked it, and I know you enjoyed walking around the old neighborhood again.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Did you do the breaking news that during the Olympics, what's going on at Vago?
We have, but we can talk about that right now.
Just real quick.
Yep, we don't have a schedule yet, but we will let you know the lunchtime hours. We are going to be broadcasting live every game day for the Winter Olympic hockey from Vago. So come down there because the timing's right, because it's prime time over there. So most of the games are going to be airing between noon and 2 p.m. Eastern. So you can come down, have an amazing lunch, watch some hockey with us, and watch our broadcast right there at Vago. Really looking forward to that.
Drink some Chianti. Come on, at the tournaments in Italy. Come on.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And that was a great idea by you, Pierre. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, our wonderful sponsor, Betway, where you can still go all the way and bet the beauties with Betway. And if you're not a member yet, go right to that QR code to create your membership, or go to the website, go to the member section, fill out the details there, and you get an amazing special right now. Still, you can go and get up to $300 back on your first deposit, even if you lose your first bet. That is a heck of a deal. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. This offer is not available in Ontario. And remember, always bet responsibly. All right, I got 2 games I'm going to give you actually 3. I'm looking at the Carolina Hurricanes going into Boston to play the Boston Bruins. Bruins, as we said, are starting to get ravaged by injuries. They put some guys on IR today. We're still waiting to hear what's happening with McAvoy. But the reason I'm liking the Hurricanes really in this game, Pierre, and I said it earlier before we come on the air, Brandon Bussey, who they waived earlier this season, who's a key part of the Providence Bruins for the past few years, he will get the start against his old team that waived him. I think he's going to go in there and stonewall them.
Sorry to interrupt you. The LA Kings played Anton Forsberg the other night in Ottawa, his old team. Shutout.
Yep. I think there's something to that, Pierre, especially at the goalie position. It's like a pitcher in baseball.
I agree.
So I like that. I like him getting the win there. And a lot of people are all over the over-under, which is 6.5. A lot of people saying it's going to be goals galore. I don't think so. And I think Brandon Bussey is the reason. So give me the Canes on the money line. They're at minus 150 right now. And then you can take the under 6.5 at minus 110. That's even money. And then speaking of the LA Kings, they're playing some great defensive hockey. I know they're without Drew Doughty right now, but it's been team defense, not just the blue line, that's been strong. They've been getting some good goaltending. As Pierre just mentioned there, they had a 1-0 shutout in Ottawa. Washington's been getting some good goaltending as well, and they can play.
Hey, Logan Thompson's been amazing.
He has. So give me the under 6.5 in that one at minus 150 again. And then, as I said, I'm looking at that Ducks game. The Ducks and the Mammoth. Give me that game to go to overtime at the draw. You can get that at plus 330. All right.
That's pretty late at night, Jimmy, for an East Coast guy. I don't know if you're going to be able to make it that late.
Oh, that's the beauty of recording and getting up early. There we go. All right. What do we got for the questions? Randy Workman, 79-63. Jimmy and Pierre, do you see the cadre to Montreal? Do you think it's crazy?
No, I don't think it's crazy, especially now. I don't see it being crazy at all.
Yeah,
I think Nazem needs a little energy, and I think Montreal would provide that energy. And I don't think he would be intimidated going into that hockey market at all.
I just don't know if I see it happen right now, Pierre.
What's that?
I don't see it happening yet. I think it happens more as we get through this.
No, there's a lot to what you're saying just because of the cap issues.
Right.
No, there's a lot there. I could see what you're saying. Yeah,
but I do think they strike for.
Here's the one thing: if you're Montreal, you got to keep your eye on with all these injuries. You've already lost 3 in a row. This week, you got Columbus on the road. You're home against Washington, home against Toronto. Okay, those are your you had 6 points to win by the end of Saturday night. If you win none of those 6 points, you're out of the playoffs, Jimmy. Just telling you. They got to monitor that really close.
Yep.
Just telling you.
Quickly things can change, huh? All right, next question. Simo, Pierre, how good has Artie Lefshnoff been? He leads the NHL rookies in assists. Everyone ripped the Hawks for that pick rather than Deminoff. I think he has #1 D-man written all over him.
Oh, yeah, no, but I think that's why he was, picked so early by Chicago. Watched him the other night against Toronto. I love the one where he's in isolation coverage with Bobby McMahon, and McMahon's just out of gas, and Bobby can really skate. McMahon's a tough kid. He just couldn't track Lefshnoff, and obviously it ends up being a Chicago goal. But I think he's going to be a really good player. I watched him play this summer, or in the fall, actually, in the Minnesota Wild rookie tournament with St. Louis being there as well. And you could see he was at another level. He's going to be a very good player in the NHL.
All right, next question. What do we got? Brodor HOF. Pierre, at dinner, were you able to ask Tom Fitzgerald what the heck happened to Jack Hughes? I think that happened after, did it not?
No, it was the next day.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did. It was a freak slip. Feel terrible for the kid. Like, this is at least, they say 6 to 8. Well, it's going to be 2 months. I mean, it's tough. And he's such an important player for that team. And Cody Glass is an important player for that team. That the wrong time for these injuries. And Jack was having a great year.
He really was.
Just having a great year. So it's tough to see that happen. Feel bad for the boy. I feel bad for the team. I feel terrible for the fans. He's a human highlight reel. He's fun to watch every game.
He really is. All right, next question. Franco, Pierre, why do you think Martin St. Louis does not use his timeout as often as other coaches? I watched Cooper handle the early 3-0 deficit to the Rangers with a pull and a timeout. Is there a difference in mentality approach?
Yeah, everybody's got their own thing. I don't think there's a coach that I've ever seen use a timeout better than Peter Laviolette. I thought he was one of the best guys when it came to utilizing a timeout. Peter had this unbelievable feel for when to use it, how to use it. And so, Marty's got his own thoughts on it. That's okay. Every coach has their own philosophy on it. If I were a coach, I'd try to call Laviolette and see what his mentality was. And I'd also watch some of the instances when he did use his timeout.
Didn't Lavi do that in that Game 7 against the Bruins in 2010? I feel like when they went down 3-0 in that game, he called a timeout, he calmed everyone down, and it worked.
Well, I was doing the game. I just don't know if I remember that or not.
Okay. I'm going to go back and look at it. That was insane.
But I just know I was doing that game, and I know that Peter coached a very, very good game. But I think it's important to say, okay, I think this guy's the best at timeouts, or that guy, and whomever you might think.
Mm-hmm.
Just study and maybe reach out to them and ask them. But I think Laviolette, of all the coaches I've seen with the timeout, I thought he was the best guy over the 16 years that I did it at NBC and the 11 before that with TSN. So yeah.
All right, next question. What do we got? P. Cormier, 6757. Guys, good perspective on all things hockey. Thank you. The Habs injuries are discouraging. Realistically, though, how many more years until Hugo have all the right pieces in place?
I think by the end of next year. I really mean that. Not 26. I mean the end of the next season. I think they're well on their way. I'm not going to change on that with Montreal. Jacob Fowler is putting up very good numbers in the American Hockey League. Michael Hayes is doing really good things at the University of Michigan. Sam Harris is doing some really good things at the University of Denver. They got a lot going on, Montreal, which is all really positive. Not negative at all. I think they're getting really close.
All right, next question. What do we got? Chris-Gaming-TV. Hey, Chris. Pierre, with Edmonton goalie problems and Sergei Murashov being the future of the Penguins, do you see Jerry being traded to Edmonton? And what could they get for a return in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, the problem with Christian's contract is it's still long and there's money on it, and Edmonton doesn't have that much cap flexibility. And I don't think Pittsburgh's going to want to eat any of that money.
That makes it body out.
Yeah, so it makes it a hard deal to do. I'm not prepared. I know a lot of the media are speculating that. I wouldn't be in a rush to just say, oh, by the way, Sergei Murashev's going to be the goalie right now. He's going to play 60+ starts this year. I wouldn't be in a rush to do that to him either, because Pittsburgh, there's going to be a flat spot for Pittsburgh coming up. Here's the one thing everybody's giddy, and they're all happy, and they should be, because they took 3 out of 4 points in Sweden this weekend against Nashville. Nashville's not a playoff team, number one. And number two, it usually, after you do that kind of travel, it takes 7 to 10 days to get it back on the rails. So they've got games coming up where it's not going to be that easy for them. And who knows? Let's just say they blow 5 in a row like Toronto has. They're not in the playoffs either. So I don't want Murashov being exposed to all that stuff either. Because their team in the American League is really good right now in Wilkes-Barre. It's really good.
And they got Seeloffs too. So, all right, next question. Juice, at what point in the season do you get a sense of what teams will be in the playoffs and not in the playoffs?
So my thing has always been, if you're double-digit points out by the time the NHL All-Star game comes, you're not making it. Mm-hmm. We've only seen 2 instances of teams doing it. One was Dallas and one was Buffalo, and that's back a ways. It's almost impossible to do. So this year it'll be the Olympic break. Whomever gets to the Olympic break, 10 points or more out of a playoff spot, they're not making it.
Done. Yep. All right, next question. Mike Gaudette, if there was a hockey player playing in the NCAA that is 21 years old and not drafted, could an NHL team pick him up today?
No, there's a date, and I don't know what the date is.
Yeah,
you got to sign, and if you're not signed by that date, then they can't. So I'll give you an example, just practical experience. We had Andre Nicolishin when I was in Hartford, really good forward, center iceman. I think his nickname was Tarzan. I think it was because he was so strong. No, he was really strong, really powerful guy. And I had to go. Well, our organization had to go and get him signed by, I think it was December 1st. It might have been December 1st or December 2nd, I think. And if we didn't have him signed, then he couldn't play for us in the playoffs that year. Well, we didn't sign him because the Russians weren't letting him go, and he wanted to play in the Olympics. So we didn't get him signed, so he couldn't play for us that year. And eventually we didn't make the playoffs, but we had a run where we were really close to making it, really close for a while. Then we just ran out of bodies. But yeah, no, I don't know what the date. I don't know what the date is anymore, but no.
I'm going to find that out. I'll find it out for the next show. All right, next question. What do we got? Tag-N2H. What type of defensive partner would be the best type of game Schaefer plays? Stay at home, mobile, etc. Seems like the Islanders are trying different D partners to play with him.
I love a guy like Serge Savard back in the day, or a guy like Jeff Bukaboom playing with Brian Leach back in the day, or a player like Kenny Danico or Scotty Stevens playing with Scotty Niedermayer back in the day. Somebody that could stabilize situations defensively, but also be like a security blanket in case anything got a little bit rough, let's say.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, that kind of a player, yeah.
All right, next question. Renaissance Resistor. Do you think management made a mistake by calling up Wah versus Florian, Xhekaj, or someone else? From the few games I've seen from Laval, I don't think Wah moves the needle.
He didn't move the needle when he was up earlier this year either with Montreal. So I'm with Renaissance Resistor, and I love the way he poses questions because I think they're really good.
Yeah.
I'm concerned with not so much Florian. I'm more concerned with Arber. I am. He got tuned pretty good the other day.
Yeah. And where's his confidence right now? That's the biggest thing.
And was it you, Jimmy, or was it Shane, our elite producer, that brought it up?
It was Shane.
Yeah. Ever since he fought Delorier, hasn't been the same guy.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Next question. John Palmieri. Why do you think most hockey analysts had it wrong with the Pens?
Good question. They didn't trust their goaltending. They didn't think Carlson would have a bounce back. They didn't think Ryan Shea would be one of the most improved players in the league. They thought Ryan Graves couldn't play anymore, and that's the Penguins agreed. They sent him to the minors and put him on waivers, and nobody picked him up. They didn't think Malkin had much game left. They got that wrong, and Gino's proven a lot of people wrong. I don't think anybody, including Ben Kindle's family, thought Ben Kindle as an 11th overall pick would be as good as he is right now for Pittsburgh. So there's a lot of different things why guys got it wrong.
I'm going to add one more in there too. Malkin. A lot of people thought Malkin was done.
That's what I just said.
I didn't hear it. Sorry, I was reading something. Sorry,
Jimmy. We're gonna do the Bowman School.
Yes, I know.
Fish wouldn't get caught if they kept their mouth shut.
Yep, I know. All right, next question. I just got an interesting tidbit though. Michael Mulhowney. I hope I pronounced that right. Mulhowney. Okay, Pierre. Let's say Jack Hughes is out for the Olympics and one of the Kachucks are not ready. Who is the next man up? Caulfield, Thompson, or Keller, and why?
Well, Caulfield's not a centerman, and I know Jack plays winger center, but he's more of a centerman.
Right.
Keller, I like.
Thompson's, I think. Well, he's not already there, but he was at the thing, right? He was at the orientation.
Yeah. Isn't there a player in Utah that nobody's talking about besides Keller that's pretty good? I think his name is Cooley.
Mm-hmm.
Is his name Cooley? Pretty similar to Jack Hughes, so I think he might have a shot.
But so 2 months, where are we right now? Yeah, it is.
No, this is not a good.
And here's the other thing, Pierre.
It's not a good thing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, so let's say he's ready or he's back, but it's like, oh, you're Jersey. You're not going to. Well, do I want to let him go now and he gets hurt again?
Yeah, so
they don't have a say in that. I get it,
but you see what happened with Brady. You see what happened with Matthew. Mm-hmm. See what happened with Austin Matthew. Like, look at all the guys. I'm just telling you. And I remember, were they mad at us, the league, because we told the truth. They said within 2 weeks of that tournament, nobody's going to know it was played, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, what did it prove?
Yeah.
It was entertainment, but it hurt a lot of guys. And people say, oh, Florida still won the cup. They didn't win the cup because of Matthew Tkachuk.
Yep. That Brad Marchand pickup helped. And you know what they can't do this year, Pierre? If teams, if there is a guy that goes on LTIR after the Olympics, they can't replace him. You can't use that. That's gone.
Think about Florida. Seth Jones, really good pickup. Brad Marchand, really good pickup. Sasha Barkov playing off is, unbelievable. Sam Bennett was at a whole other level.
Forsling on D.
But think about the third line.
Oh, yeah.
Luosterainen, okay? Marchand, pretty good.
Yep. They were amazing.
And you look at it, and Lundell obviously is a center, but you look at it and you're like, oh, these guys were good. Like, they were really deep. So where did Matthew equate? He didn't even – everybody knew they were watching going, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Because he got hurt at the Four Nations.
He could tell. All right, next question. Derek Rendell. Pierre, there's a head coach, a guy that has won championships at so many levels. Do you ever see Bob Hartley making an NHL return?
Yeah, Bob doesn't get hired by a GM. He gets hired by an owner.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bob's a really good coach. I go back to watching Bob when he coached in Hawkesbury.
Oh, Yeah.
Central Ontario Hockey League, Junior League. Then I saw him coach in Laval. Then I saw him coach in Hershey. I saw him coach in Cornwall as well. Saw him coach in a lot of places. Bob's a really good coach. His method, I'd be a little younger than me, I think. Probably, I'm 64, probably 60 to 62, I would say. Do I have that right?
I'm checking it now. 65. He's
So
older
he's
than
a
you.
year older than me. There you go.
All
You
right.
can, I don't care about the birth certificate. We need more older guys coaching. If you want to know the truth, I'm watching some of the neophytes coach.
Mhm.
We need some older guys coaching right now.
All right. What's the next question? What do we got? Juice, is Matthew Schaefer a legitimate candidate to be on the Canadian Olympic team, even as an 18-year-old?
I think it just depends on how heavy you weigh legitimate. I don't know about legitimate. Is he a candidate? I'd say yes.
Yeah. It's going to take another injury, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Michael Maloney, will Canada take Celebrini or Bedard or both? They're absolutely in the conversation right now. I agree, Mike. But again, I think it's going to take a serious injury for that to happen.
They're both. No, I think Celebrini. So what you got to look at is just go look at the NHL stats right now. Number 1 scorer in the league is Nathan McKinnon. Number 2 scorer in the league is Connor McDavid. Number 3 scorer in the league is Macklin Celebrini. I said this about Scheifele a couple weeks ago. If you don't take one of the top 10 scorers in the league on your team and your team Canada and you don't win the gold medal, you are going to be done.
Yeah.
You'll be done as a management. All those guys are a part of that group. They'll be embarrassed because go look at what happened from the 1998 Olympic team. All those guys, Bob Clark, Bob Gainey, Pierre Gauthier, they all, people said, didn't like the team. And you know what? They kind of faded away. They did. They kind of faded away.
What about experience in big games like Stanley Cup Finals or, Four Nations from last year? Just if a player is in the top 10 in scoring, but he doesn't have enough experience in like a Stanley Cup Final type environment, do you still take him?
This guy I would take. Celebrini.
I would take Celebrini. That's out of all the.
I would take that guy.
Yeah,
he's unflappable.
And that's no knock on Bedard or Schaefer.
No,
their time will come. Their time is coming.
So Celebrini's played World Junior. Celebrini's played in the NCAA tournament. Celebrini's
World Championships.
Yeah, World Championship. Played on a line with Crosby and McKinnon.
Oh yeah.
He's not going to be intimidated.
He won't feel out of place. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. Gabriel Lamb, what's up, Gabe? At what point does Nash? We're just talking about this today.
We were honestly, Gabriel,
change it up.
We were just talking about it off the air.
Pierre was saying that's one of the teams he's worried about right now.
Yeah, and I don't like to see anybody get fired. I really don't. And I know Andrew Burnett going back to when he played in Owen Sound, played on a line with Scott Walker and Kirk Maltby. I'll never forget that. So I'm not a fan of anybody losing their job, especially guys I like. But I got to think they're asking some hard questions. The one thing internally they have that I think is important is they have Barry Trotz.
Yep.
And he's a stabilizer. He's a good person and he's a stabilizer. So I don't know I hope they don't do anything, but I'll tell you one thing. I'd be showing Marcia that tape the whole ride back from Sweden to Nashville on a turnover at the end of the game. I'm like, come on, man. That's why we're not winning.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You got to be more of a leader.
Right. And they should have known that Pittsburgh was coming in that second game after the first game,
Pittsburgh played a great first game too.
Yeah, but they should have known the fact that because Crosby says there's no way we were losing that second game. Yeah. No. All right, next question. Juice, Pierre, what's the craziest playoff series you've ever broadcasted during your time at NBC? 2011 Bruins Canucks?
That was a wild one. Tampa, Boston. That's a wild one.
Yep.
Montreal, Boston. That was wild. Toronto, Boston.
Which year?
Game 7 when Kadri took the penalty.
Was that 20?
And I interviewed Mike Babcock in the second period, and they were feeling pretty good about themselves. And it didn't work out that way. Trying to think what else. Like there were so many. Anaheim, Chicago, Detroit, Chicago. Like there are a lot. We had a lot of wild ones and long
Chicago,
ones.
Vancouver games. Those are great.
Chicago, Vancouver. There were some good ones in there too. LA, San Jose. There were some good ones. I got to tell you this, and I'm so proud to say it. I got a call from a longtime TV executive today. It was really nice. He knows who he is. He watches our show all the time. I don't want to embarrass him. And he said, boy, the league misses NBC. And they miss it because of the way the game was presented by the producers, by the directors, and by the people that were on air. It wasn't a broadcast about analytics and numbers. It was a broadcast that was about the people that were in the game. And you can go chart the ratings from 2006 all the way to when NBC lost the contract. Every year they went up.
Yep. By the way,
the only year they didn't go up is during the COVID year when we were in the pods. And the reason why that happened is because the playoffs were done in the summer.
Yeah.
And nobody's watching pod hockey during COVID in the summer on TV.
Especially
they wanted to get outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to get outside. That's the only year the number didn't go up. And so it was an amazing call. So, like I get that question and I'm going, now I know why maybe the game, like so many people wanted to watch. There were so many great series. It was awesome. It was so good.
By the way, I saw that NBC Sports Network is back today.
It is back.
It is back.
It is
Where
back.
that goes. Pierre, Shane politely, we're all done with our questions, but thank you, Shane, for reminding me. I did not get to that tune-up, so I'm going to do it right now, and I'm going to make it quick because we went over it already. I don't want to do that now.
Yep.
The Rangers players, in general, need to tune up their pride in their crest and their organization and for their fans, and take a flyer from Jonathan Quick there. Build off that. That was a little gift, I think, to them. Maybe a turning point, but something they can propel into maybe forming the identity that they're yet to have. Learn from a guy like Jonathan Quick. You're lucky to have a leader like that and a mentor. Take advantage of the lesson he gave you.
Toronto Maple Leafs, big tune-up. Fix your special teams.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be at 105 to be a legitimate contender for the Stanley Cup. The Toronto Maple Leafs right now, between their power play percentage and their penalty kill percentage, is at 95.
Oh.
They're 10 points out of where they need to be.
I will give them
They
credit.
got to fix their special teams.
Yep. It's gone up 3 points, though, since last week, because weren't they at 92?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it had gone up.
It's gone up a half percentage.
That's it? Oh, geez.
I track it every single day. Not just them, the whole league.
Yikes. We got to talk later. I want to ask you about a couple other teams on that. All right. Listen, thanks to everyone in the question section and for all your great questions. Thanks to Shane working the boards. Again, thank you to everyone up in Montreal, whether it was Vago or Magpie Pizzeria, everybody, McLean's Public House. And by the way, great seeing some of my friends over at Hurley's and Brutopia. They watch the podcast all the time, Pierre. They say hello. Great seeing everybody up there. And again, we are really looking forward to getting over to Ireland. Next Sunday, Pierre, we take off, and a week from now, we'll probably be going to bed after a long day in Dublin, broadcasting at the Harry Lemon, because it'll be about 11 o'clock at this time next week.
You know what? I'll be doing Montreal radio with our good friend Mitch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really? That's right, because you're on it. There we go. He never stops. He never sleeps. He's like New York City, Pierre McGuire. All right. Have a great one out there, everybody. We'll talk to you here tomorrow on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.